What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry for not having any preview videos out for this week. I actually got really busy, had some stuff I had to take care of, and ended up doing that just in time. So I was able to get, this video out. I was able to watch the game. I'm going to be making videos this week about the game, the Saints home opener this year, going back to New Orleans in the Caesar Superdome to play the New York Giants. So don't worry about that. But today we're celebrating a victory that the New Orleans Saints just took over the New England Patriots in Foxborough. So a bit of a big game today. The New Orleans Saints won 28-13, but there are still so many questions that remain unanswered and so many things that we have to talk about concerning this team. Now, this team is something that I'm just not 100% sure of. I don't know if we're elite, above average, average. I don't know what we are. I don't know what to classify us as. I don't know if week 1 was truly how the Saints are and week 3 is truly how the Saints are, or if week 2 there was just too much adversity to overcome. I'm really not sure yet. The sample size isn't big enough. We should know more against the Giants and as we progress through the season, but as of right now, there are still a ton of questions that need to be answered. One thing that I do know for sure is that the New Orleans Saints have one of the best defenses in football, and Demario Davis is one of the best linebackers I've ever seen play the game. Dude's absolutely fantastic, one of the biggest steals ever in history ever. The Saints defense looked fantastic today. All right. So as you know, I said that the Patriots only scored 13 points because they did. Mac Jones actually threw the ball 51 times and only threw for 270 yards. He threw 1 touchdown and also threw 3 interceptions, one by Marshon Lattimore, one by Malcolm Jenkins, which was actually a really nice pick 6, and one by P.J. Williams that was almost a pick 6, but he did some P.J. Williams-esque things and fell over on the way to the end zone. But he almost took that thing back to the house. So 3 interceptions by the defense. We also had 2 sacks, so that was a pretty good thing to see. The pressure was there. The pressure was on by the Saints today. They were living or dying by the blitz, and that's exactly what I love to see, the aggression by Dennis Allen, because this secondary is absolutely fantastic. Marshon Lattimore played an amazing game. He's one of the best corners in the league. Paulson Adebo is actually really good. I mean, he did allow that touchdown, but it was great coverage. It was just a better catch. Yeah, that's just how that's been the story of Paulson Adebo this year. He's been a very, very, very good player, but when he allows catches, he kind of gets mossed. That's just how it's been for some reason. But his coverage is there, I swear. Malcolm Jenkins, like I said, had that pick 6. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson played a great game. The whole defense looked fantastic. Even Cameron Jordan was making plays, and that is really, really encouraging to see. But we all know the defense was going to be good. We all knew that. The offense is something that I'm still a little bit on. I'm not 100% sold on the offense yet. And the main reason that I'm not 100% sold on the offense yet is this wide receiver core. I know what I said in week 1 where I was really happy with how the wide receiver core played, but today there was, and last week, there was no separation being created. They played really well the first 2 quarters, but as the scripted plays died down and they were having to call it by ear, it just seemed that the separation went down and down. The offense just started stalling, and it just wasn't the best performance by this group of wide receivers. Marquez Callaway made a really good play. He caught one of the 2 only touchdowns by wide receivers today, or actually the only touchdown by a wide receiver today. The other receiving touchdown was by Alvin Kamara, but he still had a touchdown reception, a really interesting throw by Jameis Winston that Sean Payton was actually aggravated about. It was a throw while he was getting sacked, just a chuck-up 50-50 ball in the end zone. He trusted Marquez Callaway. Marquez Callaway made the play, but throws like that are why Jameis Winston had 30 interceptions in 2019. That's one of the biggest reasons that he was so unsuccessful in Tampa Bay, because he would take those 50-50 shots, and a lot of the time they wouldn't go his way. He hasn't seemed to lose a 50-50 ball yet this season. I mean, he has 2 picks, but they were desperation throws. This was something different, and luckily for Jameis, it turned out in his favor. That was really nice to see, but yeah, Sean Payton is definitely going to let him hear that, because those decisions do not need to be made regardless. But Marquez Callaway had 4 receptions for 41 yards and a touchdown. He looked pretty good today, but Marquez Callaway is always someone that seemed like a really good number 2 or 3 option, and he's been having to go against number 1 DBs because Michael Thomas is out, Traquan Smith is out. He's been playing at the number 1 wide receiver position, so he's had a little bit of trouble getting open. Deonta Harris had 3 receptions for 31 yards. He's our second best option by far, which sucks because he's also our returnman, so he's out there all the time. We need other people to step up. Alvin Kamara had 3 receptions for 29 yards and a receiving touchdown. Alvin also had 24 carries for 89 yards on the ground. Sean Payton put huge emphasis on giving Kamara the ball because we didn't last week. He had 8 carries for 5 yards, and yeah, so we gave him the ball today, and he did his thing. It was really nice to see. There were a lot of cutback runs. He was making a lot of elusive plays, stuff that you like to see from Alvin Kamara, things that you expect to see from Alvin Kamara, and we saw that. So very good by him. Taysom Hill also had 6 carries for 32 yards and a touchdown. I was extremely pissed, okay? There were a couple of points in this game where Sean Payton just said, you know what, screw it. Let's call the Taysom Hill designed run that everybody knows is going to be the Taysom Hill designed run. You guys know what I'm talking about. We ran that, I think, 6 times this game. 6 times, in which 3 of them were successful. The other 3 just made me want to gouge my eyes out with a fork. It just really, they were so untimely. It was just pissing me off. On 2nd and 3rd down, we give the ball to Taysom in that run situation instead of Alvin, just doing shit that doesn't really make any sense in my whole honest and humble opinion. But it ended up working out in the end. Taysom Hill had a really long drive at the end of the game where he was just running the ball every play, and we ended up scoring. Tony Jones Jr. had 2 carries for 12 yards, and that's about it there. So overall, team played pretty damn good today. Except for Alex Rosas. He literally played like actual dog doo-doo. He missed 2 field goals. One was on 4th and 3, a 52-yarder. Got carried by the wind a little bit and just Aldrick, not Alex, sorry. Got carried by the wind a little bit, missed, and then the other one was like a 30-yarder, man. It was bad. But it is what it is, honestly. Will Lutz is eligible to come back next week if he's ready, so be prepared to hopefully have your kicker back, Saints fans. So, I don't know, man. Blake Gilligan played amazing. We had a block punt. There was just so much that happened in this game, but I still have so many questions. We scored a touchdown once every quarter. I don't know. The Saints just, I'm not completely and 100% sold on them yet. I'm really not. I'm just not 100% there. I am sure on Marshon Lattimore being one of the best corners in the league. Demario Davis is absolutely insane. He had 8 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 passes defended. He played an absolutely baller game. That dude is nasty. But it really just, I have to see more from this team as far as sample size goes. Because I do know they can compete, and they will compete. But I just don't know if they can hang with the best as of yet. That offense really has to get going. I haven't even read James' stat line yet. I just realized that. But he didn't have anything too, super glamorous. He was 13 for 21, 128 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's been like the main, the kind of expected stat line for Jameis Winston this year. Just similar in the Green Bay Packers game, except he had the inflated 5 touchdowns. But he threw for a 110.8 quarterback rating. A good game by Jameis, but nothing really that pops yet. We haven't had a really Jameis dominant game yet as far as passing yardage goes. So I'm looking for expansion in that department. Hopefully getting Traquan Smith back from injury whenever we do, and Michael Thomas back, and we start playing these teams with worse defenses. Because keep in mind, we played the Packers, whose defense is pretty bad. Jameis threw 5 touchdowns. We played a really good defense, tied for number 1 in the league with the New England Patriots in the Carolina Panthers, one of the best defenses in football right now, and then the New England Patriots, who also have one of the best defenses in football right now. So keep that in mind. 2 of the best defenses in the league, back-to-back, and Jameis Winston still was able to put together a really good game today and take this Saints team to another win. So we are 2-1. 54% of teams that have went 2-1 within the last 5 years have went to the playoffs. So hopefully we can continue that trend and at least get in as a wild card team, depending on which way this division turns. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about this game. It's nice to see another win for the New Orleans Saints, another win in that win column. I'm happy. You're happy. We just got to look forward to the home game against the New York Giants next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Adios. Stop recording, please.